Good morning, sir. You Robert Baird,
Yes,
here with your lawyer Jordan Harden. You pled to a domestic assault upon Grace Shaw, someone you had a dating relationship with. That allegedly occurred on January 22nd in Park Township. And the matter was set for sentencing this morning. Ms. Harden, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. In negotiating a resolution to this case, we had discussed that Mr. Baird is eligible for the statutory deferral. He does not have a criminal record, never been in trouble. And I believe Mr. Baird and the situation is exactly the kind of situation the statute intended to take into account when providing this second chance to an individual.
No, we have the same problem in this case. I got this as part of my file. I don't know whether you guys have it. Thursday, February 5th, troopers were dispatched regarding a harassment complaint. A telephone call was conducted with Grace Shaw. Grace reported her ex-boyfriend, Robert Baird, has been harassing her, doing phone calls and FaceTime calls that are intended solely for communication with their child. Grace stated that she created a Facebook account to allow Robert to speak with the child as the court ordered communication requires. During these calls, Robert will speak with the child, but then begin observing her through the FaceTime. Robert questions her about her as other items as he sees in the home, asks whether she's sleeping with someone or has another man in the house. This behavior is ongoing.
I did not receive any bond
Damn it.
violations.
There's also a PPO in effect, so there's the same allegation here that he's violating the conditions of his bond.
Your Honor, I will state February 5th was the day prior to the initial attorney pretrial. It was not made aware to me at that time. We had the secondary pretrial in March where this case was resolved with a plea. I did receive Friday from the victim's rights coordinator, the victim impact statement. No mention of these violations, no
Do
indication.
you have this report, Abigail?
I don't, Your Honor.
What the heck? Well, it makes a difference. We're gonna have to continue this also. This will be a problem on my part. If the people are filing this with the court, they simply go in the court file. February 5th. I'm not sure at what date it was placed in here, but then they don't tell anybody. And
I would ask that we proceed if that's not been provided to the prosecutor or myself. We've entered a plea in good faith ever since that.
did you get the victim impact
I got
statement?
that Friday.
All right. What's your thought on that, Abigail?
I would rather continue the sentence, Your Honor. If the defendant's violated his bond at any time, then I guess I would object to the deferral.
Well, and it's important. So then we gotta figure it out.
Well, at this point, if the allegation is that during a scheduled court ordered phone contact with his child, that the victim didn't like what he had to say, I don't know if that would constitute as a bond
I
violation.
don't either. I can't tell.
I mean, we're going on 2 months. She's not indicated any such in her statement. He's appeared for every court date. I think he's eligible for the deferral. I think the deferral is the appropriate resolution. And if these bond violations are being submitted to the prosecuting attorney, they're at a disadvantage as well because they can't investigate.
Well, it is somewhat hard to pin down, like he said, she said kind of thing. But my bigger concern is these things get filed in here and nothing is done with them. That's an institutional problem on my part.
I mean, I guess my argument would be, I don't know why we can't continue with sentencing today. It's not an allegation of assaultive or, physical contact. It's,
Well, the prosecutor's withdrawn their recommendation for a deferral.
well, she indicated if there has been a bond violation. We have a report submitted 2 months ago. There's been zero follow-up on it. Nothing from the victim indicating that she's had this contact or that she wants to pursue it past that.
That's a legitimate issue, except somebody may have dropped the ball, which is me. The thing got filed with the court and I can't tell that we did anything with it. And the prosecutor would have had an opportunity to respond. It's a,
I guess my argument with Your Honor is I don't think it's fair to essentially punish my client for this. As you can definitely see, he's emotional. He's been emotionally preparing for this. He's been nervous. He'd like to get this.
Paul, have you got a
resolved.
problem? You got a
Yeah,
piece?
I've got to leave here soon because I've got to go back to White Pigeon and then be back here by 2 for staff.
All right, we're gonna bump this. If it is my responsibility to forward these, I don't want it to be. It got put in the file and no one brought it to my attention. It was just in here when I looked at it. Jordan, I appreciate your perspective here. And I would be willing to just proceed, but now the prosecutor doesn't agree to the deferral, which was part of the plea agreement.
Right, if she's gonna pull that off, we need to withdraw the plea and set the matter for trial.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but that would be his right.
And I will be honest, Your Honor,
Yes.
in reviewing the bond violation that the court sent, I don't even see where the allegation is.
Well, there's a second page coming.
Right, it just, okay. It just lists the conditions of the.
This
bond.
report will be forwarded to the prosecutor's office for review, is what it says.
And if law enforcement didn't do that, I would argue that we're in a
Well,
position.
you
to
don't
proceed.
have that violation of bond order or report from Trooper Muhammad? You don't see it in there?
I don't, Your Honor, no.
I don't know, Jordan, whether it rises to the level of something or not. But we're gonna have to do the same thing. Need the sentence to I don't have a date.
Would state they do have a child in common, so he's not been able to see his child. since
Yes, that's
January.
all in there. I'm gonna continue. Jordan, are you available Thursday, April 9th? In the morning, say 9:30?
I will make myself available to get this resolved, Mr. Baird.
(9:30). Mr. Baird, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna follow through on the original agreement, but we need more information. Prosecutor, according to the police, he said he sent it to them, but she said she didn't get it. The court got it. Your lawyer didn't get it. So we're gonna pause. They can contact the complainant and see whether she just wants this to go forward with a deferred sentence, which would make life easier, but
And Your Honor, you mentioned that there's a PPO.
yes,
Okay, do you have a date on that? My client hasn't been served with anything, so he was not aware.
it's in those pleadings I sent you. Maybe the officer just called it a PPO.
All right. Yeah, I don't see anything in the circuit court case search.
I think he's referring to the bond as a PPO.
Okay, I just wanted to ensure that if there was something
All right.
out there, he was aware of it and was properly served.
Okay. All right, Ms. Harden, I appreciate your making yourself available.
Thank you.
In the meantime, Abigail, you can have your staff get a hold of Ms. Shaw and the trooper for that matter. and find out what their perspective is on this. But I can't go forward without more information. You do have a child in common, and there's a special app that allows contact.
It's a texting only app that was
Yes.
referenced, so he can't, I mean, the child's fairly young, so it's.
Well,
not-
this was a special FaceTime on a Facebook account.
Right, and I don't know what the terms of their custody agreement is per their orders there. He's got independent counsel for that, and I'm not sure how they're pursuing or handling that aspect of things.
Yeah, it doesn't mention a PPO.
Right.
All right, we'll follow up on this. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. I hope we can. And I need to follow up on what does my office do when they get bond violation reports besides stick them in the file? Although this says on its face, it was sent to the prosecutor's office.